this is the reason why I would like to run for president. I would like to run for president because I believe our country deserves and should get better. Our country deserves and should get better leadership, in my view. Some of these people doing well on the campaign trail are people who are on the Interpol list for wash and money laundering. If we are not careful as a country, we are going to launder into elective offices up to 40% of these characters. And we will pay a price for it. Today, my colleagues, those of you who are in the finance sector, you know we have been grey-listed. 3 weeks ago, the EU also listed us as an insecure financial transaction environment. It has never happened since independence. And the reason why I was very surprised about that EU one is that we are the only country in East Africa on that list. I want to be diplomatically sensitive. Sitaki kuongea mambo mengine niseme, unajua hata Burundi haiko huko. Ta Somalia haiko huko. Sisi tu ndio tuko huko kwa East Africa. Sisi ndio tumeandikwa hapo. Tunafanya ujeuri wa fedha pia tunafanya. So these are the issues. This is the reason why I would like to run for president, because I believe our country deserves and should get better. Our country deserves and should get better leadership, in my view. And you're not going to bring it from Mars or from Jupiter. The people are there. They are willing and ready to serve their country. What they need are leaders who will go and work. I have not arrived from heaven myself. And you know, I am not one of those who carry around a big Bible ambayo inaweza kukuangusha. I go to churches there every day, singing songs, hymns, trying to pretend that I am holy. I am a sinner like you. It's just that I am a realistic sinner who will say, who would like to do his work and get his work done. That is it. Who will not make excuses when I'm supposed to deliver services, and who is willing to level with the people of Kenya and tell them the truth, as it were. We know when Gen Z happened, the demonstrations against Finance Bill 2024 in June 2024. First of all, I asked very many people, and you know, the privilege I have is that you cannot hoodwink me. I think, as someone said in this room, the late John Mijuki and myself are probably the most consequential ministers of security in independent Kenya. I was there for 5 years. I know our capacity and I know what we will do. How was our parliament overrun in broad daylight, and parliament is 2 kilometers from State House? So, and then MPs were scampering for life. What is shocking to me to this day, honestly speaking, and you Kenyans, I mean, this is something you should ask yourself questions and answer. No one has asked the question, what actually happened and why? Because in ordinary circumstances, we should have had an all-parties parliamentary inquiry, where all parties come together, have a parliamentary inquiry. In fact, if I was president that time, I would have worked with the leader of majority and worked with the speaker to have an all-parties parliamentary inquiry. Why? It would have given me an opportunity as president to listen to the Gen Z and to have an opportunity for them to ventilate so that I understand what is actually going on, have the parents come there, and it would have given us an opportunity as a country to do deep dive and soul searching on what we had not done that caused Gen Z to get to that point. So, we did not do it because viongozi wa kitaifa think they know everything. Then 25th June came, 2025. We lost more lives. Then Sabasaba came. We lost more lives. And my brothers and sisters, we cannot continue that way. That is not how we are supposed to live. And in all that, you can see irresponsibility, dereliction of duty, recklessness. And It's best demonstrated by the language you have had leaders use and the sentiments that you hear leaders using. I was shocked in this day and age, 63 years after independence. There's somebody who talks about tribes. Where do you live? I mean, those things, nobody talks about those things anymore. I asked some friends last night where we were having dinner. Which one of us goes to hospital in Kenya and you are sick? You are very, very sick. You are shivering in your car. But then you ask people, please check on the list, what's the tribal background of the doctor on duty before I go in? Because you just get in, you are treated, and sometimes you don't even know the ethnic background of the fellow who's treating you. But until you are treated, you go away. Why should it matter? When you walk to a bank, for example, in Kenya, you go to Equity or a family bank, you want services, you go to the teller. Do you first of all ask, by the way, where do you come from? Before you ask your money. It's transactional. You just fill out your papers or you discuss your loan and you go away. It doesn't matter anywhere else. Why should it matter when it comes to making decisions on the leadership of the country? It's because some of us tuko na shida fulani sijui ni ya kurogwa ya huko nyuma, which we should never ever ever as a country accept. And that's why the young people in this audience who are listening to me, Gen Z is an opportunity to step into the third wave or the third generation of leadership in Kenya, modern Kenya. This is what is going to give us. Yeah. This thinking and this approach is what gives us a modern country. A country where the content of your character matters more than your surname. You know, the values you hold, the delivery of services is more important than your surname. Because all those primitive things where your surname is supposed to lead you somewhere, so that if your name is Omolo, then I make a decision whether or not you should pass through this gate. That time is gone. And Kenyans, let us not only resist, let us reject that kind of attitude. So I'll speak about this until the cows come home, but this is my vision. That one, we can put up, and I can promise, we can put up a credible government that can be trusted, that will ensure the stability of the country, that is reliable. We will not do some of those things that will hurt the image of our country. When I have another time, I will tell you about some of these challenges that we had, even when I was Minister for Security, when some of our neighbors were trying those kinds of things, and we told them, we will not solve your problems. Your problems will be solved there. Don't drag us into your quarrels. Everyone is free to come to Kenya and have fun, as long as they don't break our laws. If you break our laws, that's a different story. But if you're just coming to do business in Nairobi, have a girlfriend in Nairobi, do whatever, you are free. Do business here, put up a whatever, that's fine. That's what our country is supposed to be. Because we want to be honorable and respectable members of the international community. And we are signatories to all those conventions, including the protection of human rights and stuff like that. That's what I hope we will do as a government. We would sit down and reorganize the education sector that is chaotic. Imagine, how can you not be frustrated if you are a young university student? You don't know when you're going to have help to start with. You don't know when the semester is beginning or ending. You do not know whether you're going to do exams or not. Statements fly left, right, and center from the ministry on your fate. You don't know which one to believe. The one that came out today, the one that was made by the minister, or the one that was made by the president. You don't know. Chaotic. How are you supposed to live your life? Yet, you know, in a sector like that, you're supposed to have a sense of predictability to move forward. I will advance this argument, especially when we come to the campaign proper. We waived examination fees when we were in government. Because I can tell you, as a Minister for Education, when we looked at the budget lines and the allocations to the Examination Council and what we have in the budget in the ministry, there was no point really of levying examination fees, especially when you know it is actually going to be a wastage issue, it's going to be an inclusion issue, it's going to be a completion issue. For the educators in the room, like Dr. Weche, you know what that means is that there are people who are not going to do exams because they can't afford 5,700. And if they stop there, that is wastage. All the resources we are putting to educate them is wasted. And these people's lives is messed up. It means it is going to exclude some people. That's why it's an inclusion issue. Only those who are well-to-do will be able to do that. It means it's also a completion issue, because you see, you're going to start having dropouts as a result of this kind of bottlenecks. These are barriers to educational completion, as it were, and the educators in the room will understand what I mean. That is a way that affects the human resources we have for our country. I mean, I don't know whether I can be crazy enough to do those kinds of things in society. We would like to run a government that will pay attention to that, because that is, for us in Kenya, education is our gold mine, because that is how we train, and that is the foremost resource we have, and that is the leverage we have for growth and development. Go anywhere in this world, anywhere in this world, you will find Kenyans there, educated Kenyans working in all these international organizations. Sylvia, my colleague, is here. From next week, I'll call her my former colleague when my notice for the bank expires, from the World Bank. And they will tell you, there, we have several economists. We are actually one of the few African countries, I can say that authoritatively, that have contributed significantly to the capacities that you have, even at the bank here. It's because of our education. That is one thing we cannot miss. We need to address it, and we'll sort it out. We will secure the country and ensure that, you know, it is, yani ni aibu ya ajabu. The people are walking around in the capital city of our country, in the capital, not then in the capital city of our country, carrying rungus and the sticks and kicking doors, businesses, and so on. There are banana republics that are better than that. We cannot allow that. My brothers and sisters, let us all come together and ensure this does not happen as we go forward, so that we strengthen ourselves and strengthen our country. But you know, finally, and this is the last segment of my remarks tonight, I have not lost hope, and I will not lose hope in my country. And I want to ask you, wonderful people, because when there are challenging times like this, it's very easy to be tempted to lose hope, to give up on your country. And for you especially, who are here in the United States of America, like Kathy said, you go there, kukidoka, unarudi. Then you say, acha nikae tu. Then you are not going back, you are here, and everything seems to work one way or the other here. You drive to the seaside and have a nice weekend, get your friends on Thanksgiving Day and have a barbecue and stuff like that. That's fine. But look, even this one was built and it got here because people made sacrifices. So it is our turn to make sacrifices for our generation, so that our children and our children's children will find a Kenya that is like this one, so that other people will also come to our country and never wish to leave, because they will find that our country is also very nice, and it can happen. And the reason why I have this hope is because I can speak with authority. I know my country, I know my people, I know my fellow citizens. We are better people than this. My country is better than this. What we are seeing and the behavior of the people you see in administration and so on is not who we are as a people. That does not reflect the true picture of Kenya. I don't know about you, but look, my friends, I have been in the public service. I have seen police officers cross swollen rivers with examination sheets on their heads or on the side, walking through. They're not paid additional fees for that, protecting those papers and ensuring that those papers are not messed up. During Corona, I went to some place beyond Embakasi to thank some Kenyan women who had decided on their own volition, nobody asked them, government did not ask them, to cook for police officers who were manning the roadblock at that time. Two of them lawyers in Machakos. They had come together, organized themselves, and they were supplying food to those police officers, cooking for them every day. They actually created a makeshift kitchen. The government did not give them budget to do that. They volunteered, they mobilized women, and they were cooking for the police officers there every day. I went to Limuru at 1 a.m. at night one time with my colleague Mutahi Kawe, who was then Minister for Health, to a police roadblock, and I found women from the local shops serving those police officers with tea and bringing bread. Government did not ask them. The Kenya Association of Manufacturers, Phyllis Wakiaga and Company, putting private sector people together to contribute water tanks for police stations and soap so that police officers can wash their hands to deal with infection at that particular time. I have seen with my eyes how Kenyans turn up when we have a disaster, donating blood. When we call for food donations, when we have a challenge, Kenyans turning up in their numbers to contribute food. During Corona, we wouldn't have succeeded were it not for the big support we got from the private sector. The private sector team, chaired by Madam Karuku from East African Breweries, and bringing together all these people, committed, attending meetings every day without asking for sitting allowance, and guiding us and working with the government to secure the lives of our people. We are a great country, and we can do many things. I have worked with public servants who will not ask a question if you ask them to come to work over the weekend. As long as you are trustworthy enough, you respect them and take their advice and don't politicize their decisions or try to create funny games of parachuting people because they come from your tribe and promote them and that kind of rubbish. Public servants who are committed and focused on serving their country. Our country is great. We are better people. So because of that, don't lose hope. We will rise again. We will cross the bridge. And this momentary challenge we have because of some challenges with some of our leaders, we will overcome it and build and move forward. After COVID, we said we will build big and better. And we will go forward. We are the long-distance running country. So we are resilient. We will do well as we move forward. So all I ask you, my brothers and sisters, is this. Let's go beyond these nice conversations we have. Mwaura, let us finish that petition. Let us have additional polling stations here in the US. Wake up in the morning and vote and determine your leaders. Do not complain and write nice stories about what is working and what's not working. It is good to say that because we need those views. But you could actually make it even better by casting a vote and making a decision. And encourage your brothers and sisters back home to participate in the electoral process, to reject violence, reject the temptations to be divided, and reject all this kasumba mbaya that is being brought to us because of incompetence. You know, when people are incompetent and they are not able to work, they make excuses. You know, from morning up to evening, the first time they open their mouth, they say it is Mwaura. It is Mwaura who's not doing his work. Next time they tell you it is Major, and so on and so forth. And the work is looking at them. The challenges are looking at them. They are there every day. And all they need to do is just go to work, sit down, put people together and work. So that is how I think Kathy will make a difference. And I am committed. You asked me about my experience in public service. I've said it was a wonderful experience and I succeeded because I trusted the people I worked with and they trusted me. And every single day was essentially a celebration of our nationhood everywhere you go. Whether you meet rural folk or people, sometimes I was telling some friends last night that one thing that I am going to have to learn to live with in this thing I'm now doing that, I never thought I would actually first of all go into politics and start campaigning and looking for votes. Now I'm here. sometimes it's an emotional experience, to be honest with you. You know, like when I went to Kiambu, you know, Kenyans are really wonderful people. You meet these women, these ordinary women. Some of them are actually walking bare feet. And if you even sit down with them, they actually know what the country needs. And they talk to you very responsibly and very nicely. Those people are not wheeler dealers. They are not cartels. They are not wishy-washy guys. They just want a peaceful and stable country. End of story. So, you know, tuaje mambo mingi na story mingi. You know, let's get some work done. Now, I keep telling our leaders, you know, every time they are sometimes even criticizing us and saying, oh, it's the opposition that is sponsoring violence. And I tell them, there is nobody in this world called opposition. People have names. Say it is Fred Matiang'I and give the evidence for it. Because even that blanket and general condemnation is part of that laziness and that recklessness and the opposition, as it were. Just say who it is who supports and provide the evidence for it. We are a mature country. We are better than this. We can do a lot of good things as a people. So, my wonderful people, join us, those of us who are walking this journey to making Kenya an even stronger, better, much more stable environment where we are all proud to be. Because I can guarantee you and I promise you, if we stick together and work the way we are working, our better days are ahead of us. So, our better days are ahead. So let's work together. I'm asking each one of you, when you have registered to vote for me. But I don't put a full stop there. I put a comma. I say vote for me, comma, and hold me to account. Yeah. And hold me to account, because this, I am not given to those types of stories. I used to enjoy driving in schools even at 6 in the morning.